Hi, my name is Brittany Callaghy, and this is my third video journal entry for the class EDUU 676. Today I will be discussing several components of the Autism Program Environment Rating Scale self-assessment. The first component I'm going to be talking about is social competence. So in my observation, I saw a classroom that was grouped into three groups for a history project. Each group had a different branch of government to discuss. They were supposed to work as a team and write facts about their branch of government. Besides the group project, the students would mostly interact with the teacher and paraprofessionals during instructional times. Occasionally, the teacher would offer a turn and talk, but students didn't really engage with each other. I would recommend the teacher provide more activities that are engaging and require the students to work together. The teacher could also implement a think, pair, share or round robin to get the students interacting more with each other. The teacher would focus on a social skill weekly. The teacher would show class dojo social emotional videos to the students that related to the social skill during their morning meeting. I think that implementing a peer mediated instruction into the classroom would extremely benefit these students. They tend to look up to their general education peers and they want to fit in. Having someone other than the teacher and paraprofessionals instructing them would increase motivation and engagement in the lessons. Lastly, this school provided the students with a friendship club, ASB, and the Wolf Den. All students had the opportunity to join the friendship club. Students were chosen to be leaders, which meant that they were assigned to a specific student and would hang out with them during recess and lunch and engage in social interactions. Teachers were asked to list any student that would benefit from having a peer buddy. ASB was another way peers form social networks. The teacher was able to pick 2 students per semester. ASB was only for the upper grades, which is 4th and 5th graders. The Wolf Den was another opportunity for peers to socialize with peers. Each day, a grade level would have a certain opportunity during recess and lunch to attend the Wolf Den. Personal independence and competence is the next section I'm going to be talking about. In this classroom, there was a daily schedule posted at the front of the classroom with visuals and written words. All students had access to it throughout the day. Along with providing all students with a daily schedule, I think providing them with individual schedules would increase independence. This would allow them to keep track of what activities they have completed and which ones still need to be done. I noticed that the teacher prepared individual goal binders for each student. The binder had the student's IEP at a glance, it had the goal data sheets, and it had certain worksheets that pertained to each goal. This helped keep all data in one place. During transitions, students were given a visual describing what station they were supposed to go to next. So, for example, they would be giving a computer visual or a blue square to go to the blue table. And then next, each student had a personal binder or a personal notebook for their science and social studies. The students would be able to take notes in this, and they glued certain activities into their notebook. I think providing students with a folder or binder for reading, writing, and math would also be beneficial. It would increase their independence and organization skills. During the writing rotations, the teacher could also provide a checklist to let the students know what needs to be included in their paragraph. Some students used a star chart during academic rotations in which they had to earn 5 stars to get a free choice. These star charts were pretty boring in a way where they didn't appeal to the student personally. I would suggest that the teacher create a star chart that's more appealing to the student and has to do with the student's interests. For example, one of my students loves JoJo Siwa, so I created her a JoJo task chart where she earned JoJo bows. Also, all students had a task chart. This task chart had 3 columns. One column was where you wrote the task the student was working on. The middle column was a rating scale, 3, 2, and 1, 3 being the best. And the last column was any notes that the teacher wanted to write. This task chart was still pretty simple. In the future, I would probably suggest to provide a more appealing task chart, maybe with some visuals. Maybe instead of a number scale, it could be a happy face scale. The next section I'm going to be talking about is functional behavior. I noticed when behaviors occurred, team members would document what was happening in a behavior notebook. I feel as though this behavior binder was great, but providing an FBA or an ABC form would help the staff better identify the target behavior and why the behavior occurred. So having those forms easily accessible would be beneficial for the whole team. The next one, the special education teacher collaborates about intervention strategies with other team members and make sure everybody on the team knows and understands the intervention plan. I would suggest to sit down with the staff in the classroom and talk about the intervention plan and how it's supposed to be implemented. It is really important for the paraprofessionals to understand the plan and know how to implement it correctly. They need to know what to do in certain situations and how to take proper behavior data. The next section I'm going to be talking about is family involvement. The teacher sends home weekly emails to parents regarding upcoming events that are happening at the school or in the classroom. The teacher utilizes a parent-teacher communication binder. For each student, this binder is used to briefly describe how the student's day went. Parents are encouraged to write back, document any concerns, or report how the student is doing at home. The teacher also sends home those task charts I talked about earlier, so parents know how the student performed during each task throughout the day. Providing the families with family-friendly websites that they can go to for more information is extremely beneficial. And also providing them supports that can be utilized within the classroom, like strategies or techniques that are easy and don't take a lot of work, could be beneficial for them to start using outside of the school environment and more within the home environment. The last section I'm going to be talking about is teaming. I noticed right away that all team members were familiar with the students' IEP goals, and those individual data binders really helped with that. I recommend teachers sit with their paraprofessionals and review all goals at the beginning of the year. This is a great opportunity for the staff to ask questions and really understand what each goal is measuring. So that is extremely important for all team members to be familiar with the IEP goals. All staff members seem to be familiar with the supports and services offered. Staff members would attend general meetings that were required by the district. I would suggest to provide for the teacher to provide feedback to the paraprofessionals daily, if not weekly. It is extremely important for them to know what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. This provides them an opportunity to improve their skills in order to better help the students within the classroom. I would also recommend the district providing paraprofessionals training related to ASD. I know from my experience that a lot of my aides have come to me and asked for training specifically for ASD, and I think it's super important for them to be well informed and know strategies and techniques and approaches that are beneficial for students with ASD. Thank you for listening, and that concludes my third video journal entry.